my sister with the youngest boy.
And they were in they died in Auschwitz.
They took them away much before us.
To Auschwitz.
No, worst place. Worst place. And they took away also much before, and they threw them, not my brother, just she with the family. He was in forced labor camp. And her with the 3 children, they took her away nighttime from the home, and we got news that we were still at home that they were thrown to the Dniester, to the water. My brother, the wife, and those 3 children. No, the brother was still in forced labor camp. And then he perished in Auschwitz, or where, I don't know, we never heard about him. This young guy, he was the youngest.
It seems he was very, very dear to you.
Yeah, he's a very, very talented boy. He was in Yugoslavia with the other boys. First in Budapest, he gave English lessons that he was able to live. And then when they went to Yugoslavia, to Versets, they made shows, and he was playing piano. He was a very capable boy. He made chess figures, he played chess, he was an art painter, he was everything.
Is that your armband? Or?
This was my armband, yeah. Because the last few years, the Hungarian occupied Czechoslovakia. So they wrote here, Hungarian Flüchtlingen. Oh, this is my number. We didn't have names, we just had numbers. This was my number.
And this is by the Hungarians?
No, this is what I got in Auschwitz. Auschwitz or in the ghetto, I don't remember. So which picture is it? Yeah, this was taken.
Yeah.
And this?
I think we got that one.
And this is I just bought in that little town where we escaped from the Russian in Eilenburg. So I don't know, somebody sold it in the streets, I bought it.
You want to hold those up so they can...
Which one, those?
Yeah.
This and this is already. This is the crematorium.
In Auschwitz.
In Auschwitz. Don't even know. Oh, this one. And this? And this is my brother with a family.
Were you were speaking of your niece, were you actually with her?
When I arrived to Auschwitz, I
Right.
found out that they are in Auschwitz.
How did you find that out?
There were a lot of people, you know.
So-
Yeah, we weren't allowed to go out, but sometimes, you know, we sneaked out. I went from how did they call the block to block, you know, looking, and I found them. So then.
This was at night?
No, during the day I sneaked out, you know, I wasn't allowed to go. So my nieces had a very nice girl who was the head of the block. Because she was building in Auschwitz the whole thing, the whole buildings. From Slovakia, the girls had built those barracks in Auschwitz. So she was already familiar with all those things, so she saved them. Saved them from a lot of things, and she was nice to them. So my niece, she's the oldest, she asked her I should come to be with them together. So she said there is no other way. When they have new people who escaped from another camp and they sit on the floor waiting to be placed somewhere, I should come and sit down with those people, and then they will place me. There I will have permission to go on the same bunk where my nieces were.
And that's what you did?
That's what, and the whole time I was with them.
So that must have been very scary to do, because you could have
Yeah,
ended
but
up...
she took the risk. You know, if I sat down to those who escaped from somewhere, new people, so they didn't know that I don't belong to them.
But then you had mentioned one of the important things was to be counted in the morning and in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And you were missing, right? From your block.
No, I was in the other place. Yeah, that was very scary. You're right. You see, you're right. So, but I don't remember. Nothing happened. They were looking or not. I don't know, but we had to take the risk. I don't know. I don't remember how it was, because really. And another interesting thing happened when we were sitting a pair outside. A gypsy transport passed by, marched through, and one gypsy threw a siddur, and the siddur fell in my lap.
Through a what?
A siddur, a praying book, and the siddur fell in my lap. So we said Tehillim every morning. We davened a little bit, standing up here with my nieces and the other friends. But then, when they took us away from Auschwitz, we couldn't have anything with us. We couldn't take along. They took us for disinfection. So we went in one door and we left to another door. And our belongings we couldn't take along. So my siddur, my precious siddur, was left there on the other side. But it was so everybody, we all were so happy with that siddur. It was very interesting that it fell. There were a few hundred girls, and it fell in my lap. To me, it's interesting. Maybe it's not interesting to mention it.
No, it is very interesting, because it's something that was important to you
Yeah.
at a very difficult time in your life.
Yeah. I was very happy that I was able to be together with my nieces.
And you stayed together for the remainder of the war?
Yeah, we stayed together. Then there was plenty tourists to get to Prague, and the Russians after us. It was plenty. It's impossible to
Can you talk a
describe
little
it.
about that?
That my niece will be, no, she remembers more, and she was more involved.
Yes, but they were your tourists, so tell us.
But we
about-
were together.
Yes, but you were a
So
different person.
it was my tourist too, because I was afraid of what will happen to my nieces. They were beautiful young girls, and
How did you get to the States?
to the States here,
Yeah.
I had here cousins, and they worked on it.
So you were living where at the time?
We from Torgau, I had a brother, the oldest brother who was in the army.
The Czech Legion.
Yeah, and after the war, he belonged to the UNRWA, and he came to visit me.
How did he locate you?
He didn't locate us. We went home when we were already after the Russians, after the liberation, after everything. I went home to look for something, but there was nothing. Walking in the city in Uzhhorod with her sister, we recognized my brother.
Uh-huh.
So he had gone home?
He
at
gone
the same
home to
time?
look for me. Yeah. So he took us to Germany, to
It
a
must have
DP
been some
camp.
experience to see him on
Yeah,
the street.
yeah, can you imagine? After a few years, and but he's not alive anymore. He was a sick man. He passed away last year in London, in England. To live through such a thing, you know, he wasn't well. So we were in DP camp. We were placed in a DP camp in Germany. we were there for 4 years. I met there my husband. She also married there, my niece.
In Germany?
In Germany, yeah. And the other niece married a chaplain, a captain, who was in the army, her sister. And so we lived there for 4 years. And my brother-in-law's parents had connection with me. I got married, I had a baby. They sent me clothes for the baby. And we lived the way we were able to live. And then time came.
Where in Germany did you live?
Torgau by Leipzig.
So right near the place where you had been interned, right near the munitions factory.
Yeah, it wasn't far from there. Yeah, it was Torgau. No,
No, because that would have been in Eastern Europe.
Führt by Leipzig, by
Munich?
Munich. Führt by Munich. I think I filled out the paper also wrong. Führt by Munich. Führt by Munich. Nuremberg.
Thank you.
Yeah, Nuremberg. I wrote it down, yeah. Führt by Nuremberg. Führt by Nuremberg. There we were for 4 years. And then we got here. Wasn't easy in the beginning. I had 3 children.
You already had one child born in Germany.
Yeah, she became a year on the ship. And coming here, she became a year. She is the one. No, she didn't come yet.
Yeah.
Oh, she's here, yeah. So, and then other 2 came, and they were a little bit bigger. I went to work.
You went to work?
I left them by people who didn't go to work, and I worked very hard.
What did you do in this country?
Whatever was possible,
Whatever you could find.
whatever I could find.
I'm wondering if there's anything else that comes to mind about your early life that you might like to
But
include.
early life, it was a life,
It was a good life.
a lively life with parents, with sisters, brothers, with friends, and we didn't miss anything.
Let me going to friends. Were your friends of your youth, your childhood, were they all Jewish, or did you have some?
I had, just so happened I had a Christian girl very close. In fact, I was looking for the pictures and I found her letter today. We were corresponding in the beginning.
And is this someone you met at school, or how did you happen to?
I don't know, the whole family was friendly with her.
I see.
Family friends.
Family, yeah. It was a nice family, Catholic, but there wasn't such a anti-Semitism like exists now.
Yeah. When were you first aware of anti-Semitism? Do you remember that?
So when we start to hear the happenings from
In the
Germany,
Sudetenland.
yeah, in the Sudetenland, in Germany.
But before that, it was nothing that.
No, we knew people lived a free life.